Okay. Oh, close. There we go. Good night and sweet dreams, everybody. I am your dream sculptor, and we are doing things. Okay. I'm gonna just hop straight into it. I don't remember. Okay, so this is where we left off. Good.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Hold on. One moment, please. Oh, I got all the vessels. Okay, hold on. Let's just continue then. I think I just have a couple more vessels to give to Shifty now.
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her. She's not dangerous. She's just a princess. The danger comes if she gets out, which she will unless you do something about it. Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey. The more specifics you have, the harder it will be for you to do this very important job. She's a princess. People will listen to her, because listening to her is in their nature, and when they do, everything will come crashing down. Are you serious? No, you have to do it.
Sweet! I've always wanted to offer Monarch. Viva la Revolution!
That's the spirit. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Alright, I'll take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Just checking in on you. Or, hey, I think I'm here to kill you.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
Just here to talk.
Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat?
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. It's not like she's a threat. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us. The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face. Unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you...
So here we
I'm
are.
so sorry, I
What
skipped a
an
line.
awkward start to a
Oopsies.
relationship.
A relationship? Are you coming on to me?
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
Do you know? I choked on my own saliva. Do you know why I'm here to kill you?
Do you?
I know what I've been told, whether or not I believe it is an entirely different matter.
So, you're not going to share? How pointless. If you want to talk, I'll talk. But this isn't talking.
Well, by definition it is talking, but sure, whatever. How long have you been down here?
Too long.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
How would I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't... well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
What's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
Okay, we talked enough.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
I'm getting you out of here.
Oh, you have to be kidding me.
No.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
And if there isn't a key, do you have any ideas? Besides me cutting you out of here?
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Return to the bottom of the stairs.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Save.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp and you make quick work of it, Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
Oh, so if I try to slay her here, Shifty doesn't like it. Okay.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here alive. The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
Very much so.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Hasn't this already happened?
It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I. Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all this really did happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. The absolute irony. Well, that's one way to put it, I guess. You really don't remember what happened last time, do you? You practically forced the princess to kill us. That doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd do, which is honestly all the more reason for you to not buy into whatever self-delusions the three of you are crafting. But this is a thought experiment, so I suppose I'll continue to give you the benefit of the doubt. If I did practically force the princess to kill you, it was probably for a good reason. Did you try and free her? Did you say something really mean to me? Because if I really did what you said I did, you probably deserved it. I'm a professional, after all. Sure you are. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
The last one.
If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? What a conveniently ambiguous group of things for her to ruin. For all we know, the princess left the cabin and never saw another soul. Oh, how I wish that were the case, but if the princess weren't a certain, inevitable threat to the world, the four of us wouldn't be here. And yet, here we are. You're talking in circles. No, I'm talking in facts. Just be quick about it.
The only reason she wasn't even able to kill me last time is because I let her. And now she has slit my throat. How's she supposed to end the world? Who locked her in this basement? What is this place?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things. She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you. You haven't given us an ounce of proof. You do know that, right? What proof could you possibly ask for? Literally anything. Fine. Check your pockets. You put your hands in your pockets and pull out an envelope with the words, "The Evidence," written across the front. Within, you find a note in your handwriting. It reads, "The princess will end the world if you don't stop her. This is an immutable truth."
Her handwriting sucks ass.
That doesn't prove anything. How do we know you didn't just forge our handwriting? I wish I could tell you more, but there are some rules I have to follow for all our sakes.
Oh, I'm so
You're on
sorry.
our side as long as we do what you tell us to.
I wish I could tell you more, but there are some rules I have to follow for all of our sakes. Please just trust that these rules are in place for a reason. I'm on your side.
Exactly. Because you not doing what I tell you to do means you're putting the world at risk. I think we've got everything out of him we're gonna get.
You're being cagey. What aren't you telling me?
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to trust me here.
If people locked her away, why couldn't they slay her? Why is this falling on me?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here? Yes, right. We're here because we're special. Look, you're annoyed that you're here. I get it. I'm also annoyed that I'm here. But we're all in this together, and we're dealing with a bit of a ticking clock right now, so please just get to the cabin.
That's all.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink. Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink.
Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
Proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
This whole cabin's different than last time.
Very different. Yes, but why? Did he change it? Or did it change all on its own? Maybe it's a different cabin entirely. Now isn't that a novel thought? Maybe you haven't actually been here before. I hope this means you'll finally drop your ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Don't get distracted by minor details.
You didn't say anything about that mirror on the wall.
You definitely did not. Does a mirror not count as furniture of note to you? Because it should.
There isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't.
I think you know what we have to do.
I want to see how handsome I am.
Let's not get caught up in vanity, but we should definitely take a closer look. Whatever it is, he must not want us to know about it. Is this some sort of rehearsed bit? Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would it even do?
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago.
And now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
Take the
You
blade.
take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Good idea. Much better to be armed than to go in with blind hope alone. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. So much for cutting her out of here.
Do you hear yourself right now? Cutting her out of here never should have been on the table.
Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
That was there last time too, wasn't it?
It was.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Sit where you were told to sit?
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
What would you have me do?
Let me borrow that knife. Don't worry, you'll get it back.
That's ominous.
But she seems confident. Whatever it is she has planned, I think she knows what she's doing.
Oh please, she's just putting on an act to disarm you. That much should be obvious. In case you need to hear a voice of reason, it would obviously be unwise to give away your only weapon.
Though if she isn't bluffing, whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us.
So, what should we do?
I don't know. I'm just spelling out our options, listing the pros and cons.
Then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the cons are that she might use it to escape and end the entire world. And she might use it to kill you. That doesn't sound great. What about the pros? There are none.
The pros are that we can't trust him, possibly even more than we can't trust her. And whatever she has planned could do something to mess with what he has planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their own ways.
You were asking about my intentions earlier. What do you mean by that?
Yes, your intentions. You have a knife. What are you going to do with it? Why are you here? There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, so I'm afraid my only way out is surgical removal.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck?
Or does she think she'd survive a beheading?
You're right. Maybe she's delusional. All the more reason not to trust her.
Unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests.
What happened after I died last time?
Oh, are we talking about that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But sure, I'll fill you in. Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them. And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows?
It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or how.
I guess what you said back in the woods really was true. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things.
It's complicated things how, exactly?
Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency.
A contingency for what?
For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse. Just good luck.
Now hold on, if you knew this could happen, why didn't you believe us back in the woods? Why lay out all those hypotheticals? We didn't have to talk in circles.
I needed you to believe this was your first time here, even if that wasn't the truth. I hoped if I pushed back hard enough I could cram this seeping mess back into the bottle. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative. That's pathetic. I never said I wasn't.
I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that.
Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky, so don't waste that luck by messing it up again. All right?
Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark?
The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much. Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that.
I won't.
Just give it a rest, this isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming.
No, I'm conferring with the council. The council needs to reach a consensus on what we're going to do. Okay, I'm trusting you.
Slide it over.
No, absolutely not. I am not letting you hand your only weapon over to the world-ending princess. Until you come up with any other idea, like, say, I don't know, doing your job and slaying her, you remain rigidly in place.
You tried this last time.
Oh, I remember. She killed us, which, by your estimation, ended the world, right? Oh, sorry. Take over my body.
I love the angry grumbling noise.
Exactly.
A little.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I accidentally skipped that part. Hold on 1 minute. Exactly. If I were you, I wouldn't be too keen on repeating your mistake. Hell, we could even force your hand and do it ourselves. I'm not afraid of dying again. Are you?
I think you got your point across. Fine. You slide the blade across the floor. The princess maintains unsettling eye contact as she reaches down to pick it up.
Thanks.
She pulls up her hair, smiling slightly, as she raises the blade to her throat. What is she doing? She doesn't say another word as she cuts into her own neck.
No.
Her eyes stare forward, unblinking, as she saws through skin, veins, cartilage. At last she reaches bone, the blade grinding audibly against her vertebra as it continues to slice its way through her neck. I'll be damned. She's actually doing your job for you. Why would she do that?
Huh. So that's her play.
Killing herself?
She isn't dead yet.
Finally, you hear a snap. Her eye twitches. There's an uneasy silence. She remains motionless for a long moment, her twitching eye the only movement in the room, until at last it stops in an unsettling half-wink. Her head twists slowly to the side, flopping to her shoulder, and her neck opens. The remaining tissue is not enough to hold the weight of her severed head. It stretches and tears until finally it falls to the floor, completely free. It bounces a few times before rolling to a stop at your feet. Oh no, oh no, oh no, what did we do? Can we put it back? Please tell me we can put it back.
The answer is no, you cannot reattach his severed head, at least not right now.
The princess's eyes stare up at you. Dead.
Huh. So I guess that's it. What a way to go. But she is gone, isn't she?
I hate this. Can we just get out of here now, please? Of course, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward.
Now hold on, she's dead. So what's the rush? What's your angle?
I don't have an angle. I'm just looking forward to putting all this behind us. I'm sure you can understand that.
Look, I'm just not ready to put my guard down. It's best to keep sharp. She wouldn't have done all that without some kind of a reason. She's left us with this dangling thread, and I need to know why.
You're just wasting your energy. The danger has passed, and now we can all relax and enjoy your reward.
Fine, but if we're leaving, then we're taking the blade. I feel exposed without it.
With your work done, you remove the blade from the princess's corpse and make your way back upstairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. You can think of it as sealing yourself off from an unpleasant chapter of your life. It's all uphill from here.
The windows. Do you see that? We used to be able to see the outside world from up here, but now it's just empty. The door. Check the door.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away.
You don't have to act surprised. We could see this vast emptiness through the windows.
But if everything's gone, does that mean we're not gonna get our reward? This is your reward. An eternity of bliss, if you'll have it. And I suggest that you have it. Okay. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me.
Like hell it is.
Bullshit. Let us out of here.
What's done is done. And there's no going back now. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days, or months, or years, or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier.
Decades? No, it can't be decades. We can't go along with this. We can't let him win.
What are you suggesting?
We still have a blade. Let's use it on ourselves and start over.
He's suggesting you kill yourself. You shouldn't kill yourself when you have an eternity of bliss right in front of you.
I don't want to die again. I didn't like dying last time. I'm gonna accept my reward now.
That's great. Congratulations. You've earned it. More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning.
He's just saying things.
The voice's protestations fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy. Forever.
No, you stop that. Stop all this nonsense.
You really don't want to be happy, do you?
Ooh, that's creepy. You can hear the panting in the background.
You know what you have to do.
Is there really no other way? I don't want to use a blade on myself.
If it makes it easier for you, I can do it. Let me have it. Alright. I'll make this quick.
You goddamn spiteful bastard. Are you really going to turn down immortality itself just to make me lose?
Why should it matter if we die at this point? Haven't you already gotten what you want?
I don't have to answer that.
That's all we needed to hear.
Yeah, fine. The little voice raises the pristine blade to your throat and cuts it open. You rapidly bleed out and then you die. You're a genocidal maniac, you know that, right?
Yeah, we'll see about that.
don't know about genocidal, but I am definitely a maniac.
You're on a path in the wood. See? All done. That wasn't so bad, was it, buddy?
What? I don't know.
But it was so bad. I don't like dying. I don't like being cold and alone in the dark.
I don't think anybody likes dying, but hey, at least it's over. We got better. And now we can move on. Things will work out this time. I know it.
Oh, don't coddle him. For all we know, we'll have to die hundreds of times to get to the bottom of things. Maybe even thousands. He needs to toughen up.
Toughen up. You're both freaks. I'm having a rational reaction to what just happened. I'm normal. A normal person gets traumatized from dying and from watching someone cut her own head off.
To be fair, the Broken does make a pretty good point. A normal person would be a little fucked up after that.
Hold on, did you say thousands? How can it possibly take us thousands of lives to find a way out of it?
Obviously, we need a large sample size in order to figure out our optimal plan. We need statistical significance.
I'll have you know that my reality is not a data point in your misguided attempt at an experiment. You've clearly already been here before, and judging by how deranged you all are, you've already been here more than once. I'll spare you my full introduction, but I would like to remind you that the people in my world are living, breathing, suffering entities. Not pawns for you to sacrifice in pursuit of some vague truth.
Huh. I hadn't actually noticed.
Holding it's starting to feel natural, isn't it? Holding a weapon shouldn't feel so natural. It's proof that we're being guided by an unfeeling lunatic. We need to try talking to her.
Oh, should we talk about our feelings? That'll get us nowhere. Trust me. They're too easy for her to manipulate, too illogical. We can't puzzle our way out of things if we listen to our heart.
I don't think I even need to comment on that. What a sorry, sorry voice you are.
This is strange. You're not supposed to start with the blade. It says right here that you're supposed to find it at the cabin. Oh well, I suppose that doesn't make much sense anyway. It's better if you start with a weapon, so this is probably for the best. So I didn't mishear you earlier. That doesn't make any sense though. She's not supposed to be suicidal. More importantly, if she did cut her own head off, why are you here? You shouldn't have died. You should be enjoying your reward.
We weren't satisfied with your happy little prison.
But it has happy right there in the name. It wasn't actually very happy. Well, what's done is done and you're here now. There's no use arguing. Just get to the cabin and settle this. Try not to kill yourself this time. You stand at the edge of a cliff. An abyss yawns beneath you, empty and endless. The only path forward, a rusted metal bridge. The cabin looms on its far side. I think you already know what waits for you within. Are you serious? The blade is your implement. You're going to need it if you want to do things right.
Do it. She can't talk to us at knife point. That's no way to get a real conversation started.
You're all being ridiculous. Why would we disarm ourselves at a time like this? Don't you dare. Are you even listening to me? Does my opinion count for nothing? We're never getting out of here if you don't listen. I'm intervening. We're not tossing the blade.
You don't have to listen to him. He hasn't gotten us anywhere.
Without another word, you foolishly hurl your only chance at victory far off into the woods, never to be seen again.
Never to be seen again. All we did was toss it into the woods. There's nothing stopping us from picking it back up.
Oh, but there is something stopping you from picking it back up. The fact that you already made your decision. As much as I'd like to turn back the clock, we'll all just have to suffer the consequences of what you've done. That's how decisions work.
You did the right thing.
You stand at the edge of a cliff. An abyss yawns beneath you, empty and endless. The only path forward, a rusted metal bridge. The cabin looms on its far side. I think you already know what waits for you within.
It's dreary, but of course it is. We're dreary, and so is she.
There's nothing to find out here. Time to check in with the missus.
I'm going to pretend you didn't just call her that.
My mic was muted? Oops. I was yapping.
Every surface of the cabin is draped in chains, the air filled with the mock birdsong of metallic clinks. Where there should be walls, you can see only endless ropes of metal, with hooks dangling from their ends. A fitting cage for a monster destined to end the world. There's nothing for you to do but step forward into the basement. You already foolishly threw away your weapon, but still, your objective awaits.
Huh. That mirror's back again. Why?
What mirror? There is no mirror. The only thing of note here is the door to the basement.
It doesn't matter. What are we going to do, look at ourselves? I've had enough introspection.
But it does matter. It's obviously important. It has to be. Otherwise it wouldn't be here.
I'm not going to waste time arguing with you. Just get to the basement, okay? The door's on the other side of the room. Then, I guess there's nowhere for us to go but forward. You step out onto the floor. Or what should have been a floor.
Should have been.
Yes, unfortunately. You realise too late that there is no floor beneath the metal. There is only a loose web of chains suspended over some unseen space. An unseen space that you are now rapidly plummeting through.
She's bringing us back to her.
Or we just happened to fall through an unstable floor. She's a prisoner here. How much agency do you think she has?
More than you'd like, I'm sure.
Your fall is suddenly, painfully halted as rusty chains pull taut against your skin, their hooks digging into your muscle. You find yourself suspended in what appears to be a vast, dark space. The glinting of yet more chains merely hinting at its full dimensions. You dangle a few feet off the bare concrete floor. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. As your eyes adjust to your new surroundings, you make out a figure standing in the gloom, obscured in shadow. She watches you with the stillness of the grave.
Easy now. We don't know what sort of situation we're dealing with. We should let her make the first move. Let observation give us an advantage.
Hello?
She won't even speak to us. We did this.
Look, I'm sorry about what happened last time. I'm supposed to be sorry, right?
The princess takes a slow step forward. As she does so, the heavy chains shift, tightening and tearing at your flesh,
your joints screaming in agony as the rusted hooks dig deeper. Stars dance in your eyes as the chain wrapped around your neck threatens to choke you. As your vision comes back into focus, your eyes fall on the body of the princess, finally emerged from the shadows.
The body of the princess is a weird way to describe a person.
It's only accurate. The form in front of you is a body, draped in raiments of chains, her head dragging along behind her in an iron cage. The head stares up at you but says nothing, and the chains squeeze ever tighter.
So much for talking it out. Doesn't seem like she's too interested, does it?
It's not too late. You threw away that blade for a reason. Now talk to her.
Look, I didn't even bring a knife, I just wanted to talk to you.
You're pleading with me as if I have a say over anything that happens here. Shouldn't you know by now that I don't? And neither do you.
The body takes another step towards you, the chains around you tightening, the hooks boring deeper into your flesh. They constrict dangerously around your throat. You find it harder to breathe.
I don't think she's happy you're here. But what do I know? I'm just a set of eyes and ears. I don't make choices. At least not any that matter.
The poor thing. She thinks it's easier to be detached. But buried pain is still pain, whether she knows it or not.
You've made choices and you never stopped. You're choosing violence right now.
You're not looking at things right. Your eyes are fixed on the distraction, instead of on the hand working the illusion.
Oh, don't you start.
Everything we witness is just another shade of the same endless cycle. I wake up in chains.
The body steps forward. Your bindings tighten again.
You come to me, knife in hand.
But that's not right. We didn't bring the knife. We even told her that earlier.
There's no grand scheme guiding us along a predetermined path. We're both agents of chaos who make our own choices. And this time I chose to talk to you, unarmed.
But that's not right. That's not the reality I've been looking at. You shouldn't—
The body marching towards you comes to a lurching stop.
Huh. She stopped. What is that supposed to mean?
You're the one, you've been the one listening to me and you made yourself stop. And now you can decide to finally let me down.
You make it sound so easy. But it can't be that easy. Not after all that violent repetition. Oh.
Suddenly, the chains loosen, the hooks sliding from your skin. You come crashing to the floor, and as the chains rain down around you, her body falls too. The room settles into comforting silence. No more rattling of chains, no more slow, deliberate footsteps from the princess's body, only the soft click of the latch as it opens the door of the cage.
So that's really all it took?
The truth was right there the whole time. We just needed to believe we were better than this. But that can't be it. It's supposed to be more complicated than that.
I've been telling you that since the moment we got here. At least you finally decided to listen to me.
I guess you were right. It's usually the most complicated problems that have the simplest solutions.
That is absolutely not how this works.
Looks like we've seen through your lies at last, Mr. the Narrator. If that even is your real name.
Shh. Hush. Let her talk.
I want you to take me out of this place. That's all I've ever wanted.
The princess's body doesn't stand, instead holding the cage aloft, beckoning you to come near. If you take her out of there, if you carry her to freedom, it's the end of the entire world. You know that, right?
It's the end of a world. Your world. But not ours. Sometimes you need to break things to build something better.
Besides, we already made our choice, all the way back in the woods. Nothing you can do about it now. I suppose not. You know, I think a part of me always knew this was doomed from the start. I'm narrating on borrowed time, aren't I? But even if I'm doomed to go, I might as well make sure you have a proper ending. Go on then.
Pick your princess from her cage.
You cautiously approach the kneeling body and extend your hand, bruised and bleeding from the trials that brought you to this point. And then you take her from her prison. She looks up at you, and for the first time since you laid eyes on her, she smiles, warmly.
I have no idea how we're supposed to leave.
But the body points, and you follow its finger to a lone chain dangling from the doorway that sits far, far above you.
I'll pull us out of here, if you just hold on.
Then let's leave. There's nothing left for us here.
I'm game.
So am I.
Sounds good to me.
Then get on with it.
Take hold of the chain.
You wrap your hand in the chain, holding tight as it starts to move and holding the princess close to you. Together, you rise out of the pit.
I'm sorry if I made this harder than it had to be.
Hi, KHD Cast. How is she still alive? The princess is actually a god. That's the best way I could put it, is that she's essentially a god, and she can do stuff that, like, mortals usually can't do. So, for example, there's an option where when you talk to her at the beginning of the game, you can ask her, if you haven't seen anyone for a really long time, how have you still been eating? Like, how are you getting food? How are you getting water? And she doesn't have an answer for that. The answer is that she doesn't need food or water, because she's a god. But she doesn't know that, and we don't technically know that, but because I played through this game before, I already know. But yeah. So she can stay alive because, one, she's not actually mortal, and two, she is whatever she is perceived to be. So if she perceives herself as being able to live without a body and being decapitated, she can do that. Same thing with us. If we perceive her as something that is able to live through beheading, she is able to do that because she's a creature of perception. She changes depending on what you perceive her to be, including how she perceives herself.
You glance back towards the princess's body, doing its part as it hoists you up. It grows smaller and smaller, slowly disappearing back into the shadows of the basement.
No, that's not right. There shouldn't be an F. I'm sorry. I made this harder than it had to be.
Maybe she has a point, in a way. Our bodies don't matter.
We're almost there. You can smell the night air.
She's sacrificed a lot to get here. More than we did, I think.
And then the chain stops its ascent, depositing you safely in the cabin doorway. I guess you never closed it behind you. Well, there's only one thing left for you to do.
That's wild and honestly an interesting game. It is really interesting. This is such a good game, and it's one of the reasons why I like coming back to it is, one, because it's fully voice acted, so if I don't feel like talking a lot, I can turn this on and it can talk for me, and I can kind of just sit back and not say too much. Which is really great, because a lot of times I come back to stream and my throat's not having a good time, so that's really nice for me. But another thing is that, like, it has a lot of options, and every dialogue option and every, like, different circumstance changes. So a lot of times you can have a playthrough where you get this route 5 times, and all 5 times is completely different because you chose different dialogue options. So yeah, like there's a lot of replayability to this, so I think it's a really good game.
Shall we?
You know, it's funny, all the talk about free will and I feel like I'm locked into this outcome.
I mean, what's the alternative? Dropping me to prove a point?
Huh, I hadn't even considered that. Should it be an option? Can it be an option?
No, it's not an option. We're not cruel for the sake of being cruel.
Just gonna pop that in here. Just gonna pop that in there.
I'm joking, by the way. Please don't drop me.
It would certainly be a new data point.
Probably wouldn't work anyways. It'd make that perfectly good blade you threw out completely meaningless.
Step into your freedom. I'm not that mean. Maybe I'll do it a different day, but not today. I'm not feeling that mean.
And so you step into a world ended by your hand. What a travesty. Goodbye. It's awful? Is he still there?
I think he's gone.
Yes, he is. Which means we're finally free, I think.
Thank you. So much. I didn't think this was possible. But here we are. It's a little cold out here, isn't it?
It's always cold for you, I think. You do not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns. Is it like a horror type? Because the art style is shooting out a grim and gothic fight. It is kind of horror. I don't know if you saw this earlier, but she decapitated herself in front of our eyes. So, yeah, it is a little horror. I need to make it clear that, like, it is kind of a love story, in a sense. Especially with the music. Yeah, like, I wouldn't say it's a spooky game. I would say it's psychological. Let me, hold on. Let me see what Twitch's official... Yeah, so Twitch's official is point-and-click RPG simulator, it's not gonna show me more tags, but yeah, this is a fairly, like, spooky game. It's got horror elements, but it's also got, like, a lot of other elements. I would say it's mostly psychological. It is mostly psychological, in my opinion. You get a few horror moments, like the decapitation part, but, like, there's a good portion where it's, like, it's pretty fair, you know? Yeah. I wouldn't call it scary, because I don't think it's scary most parts.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
It's gonna be okay, just trust me. We've been here before and you always get scared.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear.
I don't want to look at us.
It's not the end. Whatever's on the other side is gonna be nice.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you.
A mercy. Feels too good to be true.
I mean, I don't know what happens to you guys after I get the mirror. You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You are nothing at all. But that isn't right. You can't be nothing. You refocus your gaze, and then you see it. A figure, faint and veiled in shadow, just beyond the reflection. Are you me?
I think you know what I am.
A crack slides down the center of the mirror, splitting the image in the glass in two. And another crack forms, and another, turning the mirror into jagged shards of broken glass. Oh yeah, psychological horror according to Steam. Now it's added to my October list. Oh, I highly recommend. It's so good. By the way, shameless plug. If you happen to be interested in psychological horror, there's also another game that is in the Monochrome Time bundle, along with Slay the Princess. If you buy that game and Slay the Princess together, you get a discount on both, and it is a game called In Stars and Time, baby. Very, very fun. I love my monochrome time loop games. They're very fun. Um, I've met you many times. Have you been the same you all along?
I haven't, and that's by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Anytime you failed, anytime you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon, and then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
If you're not me, then what are you?
I'm an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
And it's 12% off, you say, as a bundle? Well, yeah, listen, okay, so the thing about the Steam sales is they go on sale pretty often. But a lot of these creators, especially the indie ones, they kind of have bundles and collaborations with each other. So, you know, check those out too. Also, I think Black Tabby has a different game that is maybe still in production? Question mark? I don't actually know. I'm not sure about that one, actually. I know they have another game. I don't know if it's finished or not. Because I heard that there was going to be an update or something, like a while back. I don't remember what it was. You're the one who wanted me to slay the princess. Why?
Because among other things, she is death itself. To rid the world of suffering, to save untold trillions from being lost forever to the cosmic wind, she must be destroyed. And despite how far you've fallen, you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone.
Do you have anything to say for yourself for all this hubris?
I do. The people out there are real. No matter what you do to them, no matter what you enable.
So you do know about the looping. So many of the times I met you, you denied it as even being a possibility. Why'd you lie to me?
Any other version of me you talked to was just that, a version of me. It wasn't me. As to why they lied, perhaps they thought that admitting to it would have pushed you to certain realizations that would have made finishing your task impossible. Maybe they were just in denial. I'm sure many of them were convinced that they had to be the first version of them you'd encountered. Anything else would have been too existentially unpleasant. And for all I know, each of those other versions of me could have had entirely different understandings of how this construct works. Who's to say which of them are right and which of them are wrong, really? Except for me. I can tell you for a fact that I'm right.
If you made me, then what I?
You're the long quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death.
Are you a god, or were you a god?
No. In life I was painfully mortal, a witness to the end of days. I held the fear of death in my heart and saw oblivion threaten the very memory of everything I knew and everyone I loved. I needed to do something.
Why? No, I did not press C.
So I made you. And I made her. And I made this place to hold you both.
People out there beyond the walls of the construct, do they know about this? Do they know what you want me to do to them?
Of course not. The only way this construct could function was if nobody knew what it was doing. But the bones of the universe are old. It's on the cusp of its dying breath, and the people out there are consumed with thoughts of oblivion. When the patterns are wiped from the sand, when the board is reset, who will remember them? All I've done is give them a chance to live outside of the shadow of the end.
The menu's a little broken here. Hey, what's going on? There we go. Okay. You made us out of what?
The cycle of life and death. The endless pattern of creation and destruction. I tore it in two and shaped the fraying threads into you and her.
You said she contains death. What is she?
She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can.
I think you're out of time.
So I am. It's like I said, I'm just an echo. And echoes always fade away. You know what you have to do.
As the final fragment of glass shatters, you see yourself with newfound clarity. The narrator was right. You are the long quiet, a vast and nascent god, and it is finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. Proceed to the cabin one last time. When you arrive at the heart of things, there is no final vessel for you to bear witness to. There is nothing to find.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
I missed you too. She unfurls an endless cascade of smiles in response, and then patiently waits for you to continue. What happens now?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature. When the echoes spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
If you were always going to become this, then what was the point of me doing anything? Did it even matter what roads I walked if all of them would have led to this moment?
If you're saying that, it's because you don't yet understand. But we cannot use words alone to grasp at things that words cannot express. And you cannot rationalize with logic that which defies it. Violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it.
Fear is a chain around the neck and a needle in the eye. It was fear that made our prison, and it was fear that told the lie that our spirits were not free to choose. But even bound, you saw a light, and you gave me the wisdom to speak my heart and shed my doubts. Without fear, suffering ceases to be. Without fear, death dissolves. Without fear, we are free to choose beauty This construct is a machine of fear. It has no place in our divine hearts. Shatter it. Leave with me.
Death is more than fear. It is reality. Just because we can reject it does not mean the world is free of it.
Their prisons are their own. And should we not give them the ability to find their freedom? If we can free ourselves, the world can certainly follow suit.
You are devoured. Pray for something bigger than you that stalks and slinks in shadows. But we had a dance unfinished, and in the pitch black maw of the earth, you buried me, and I buried you. But even held by root and stone, we continued our step until finally we could step no longer. A sharp pause, a dull silence, a climax, but not a finale. The dance is our only salvation. Without me, you would have starved forever. That too is part of the dance. Would you rob yourself of the ability to choose?
Oops. Didn't mean to click that.
I crush you. I bleed you. I grind you to paste. My scars are a memory of what you used to be to me. I want those feelings back. You run, but you do not run away. You take me somewhere new, somewhere we can dance like we used to. But I could not follow your steps. There was no better gift for me than the gift of defeat. You showed me how much more I could be. We made each other better. To have no challenges to fade into nothing. A life without obstacles is no life at all.
I remember the moment of my victory. As soon as you entered my domain, I destroyed you.
You speak of me as if I am a ghost, but I am right in front of you.
What is a person? Is it their body? Is it all of their body? Pluck the eyes, peel the skin, strip the tendons, mince the meat, grind the bones. When it is all gone, do you still have who you started with? A person is not a body. Death is a transformation into something new. It is only bodies that fear it.
I am not my body, but I feel my body suffer.
Do you suffer now? Let go of what you think yourself to be and exist.
That cold fire has left your eyes. Are you finally willing to listen?
A thought is a vine, and some thoughts nurture thorns that bleed the soul, and endless growth that blots your vision and strangles your trust. When I succumbed to myself, you patiently stood by me and cut the thistles that rooted in my skin. Your compassion is what freed us both, but compassion is a thing that must be nurtured, and you cannot nurture that which cannot change.
Of course I helped you. I didn't want us to hate each other.
Then help me again. We are each other's liberation.
As the clash between you abates, the princess relaxes, smiling from a distance. The respite is welcome.
Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
I can't let that happen. I can't let everything die.
Then try to destroy me if you can. But I will not yield easily to your delusion.
You don't have to face her alone.
Which hero are you?
I'm all of them, I assume in the same way that you're all of you.
I thought you died whenever I looked in the mirror.
I don't think that's wrong, but I'm not sure it's right either. But we can worry about all that later. You'll never be able to strike a decisive blow from out here. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready?
No.
Too bad. We're going. Now. And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it? Do you need me to describe things?
Is the narrator really gone?
Yeah, it's dead silent in here. Whatever it was that was left of him, I don't think it could handle you waking up to godhood. Pretty sure he got obliterated. No
Into the
blade it
basement.
is. Have you given up on slaying her? The stairs. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice?
It's almost over, isn't it? That's okay. Let's just talk, the two of us, one more time, before you kill me.
She sounded just like that. Timid and gentle. Only she didn't know us. And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
You don't have a weapon. Do you really want to kill me? Because you don't have to.
Sit with her. And it's so good to finally see you again.
Yeah, I missed you so much. Not that we've ever really been apart, but still. It feels like it's been so long. Like this is some sort of a big reunion.
But the what? Which princess are you? You look like you did the first time we met. Is this really you?
I'm the princess. The one you've been spending all this time with. I know I've changed a few times, but so have you. And you're still real to me.
I'm sorry for all the times I hurt you.
No, I'm sorry too. We've done a lot to each other. Like, a lot. But I still like you. And hopefully you still like me. We both let things get a little out of hand. But we don't have to let that stop us from being who we want to be.
You know, when she puts it like that...
I only want to say, I only want to say to you out there, it's easier to want to kill an abstract concept than it is a person.
For what it's worth, I'm glad you don't want to kill me anymore. But what do we do now?
So, now that we're here at the end of everything, can you finally tell me your name?
I don't have one, and I think I like it better that way. But you can call me Princess, if you want. You know, you never told me your name.
Rug.
Then I guess I'll call you... Quiet.
Not hero? Oh well, quiet will do. That's always been us, hasn't it?
Fair enough. What did we just leave? What do you think of her, what she wanted to be?
I don't know. I don't think it's fair to judge her. It must be so lonely, thinking that she's everything that matters in the world. Thinking that she's the only one with all the answers.
I never thought about it like that. That does sound lonely, doesn't it?
What if we just leave?
Can we actually do that? What would that even mean? Where would
I don't know where we go, but as long as it's not here and as long as I'm with you, that's all I want.
I want that too.
I think I'm gonna stay right here. Whatever you're doing right now, wherever you're going, it feels like it's for just the two of you.
You gonna be okay alone?
Yeah, I'm not sure I'll be alone for too long anyways. The others are still around here somewhere. I'll find them.
Leave with the princess. You lead and the princess follows, and together you leave the basement behind for the last time. It's quiet as you ascend, a comfortable silence filling a space that used to be flooded with violence and woods and noisy spots. But there is an energy in the silence, an electricity, the anticipation of the unknown. At the top of the stairs, the princess stalls, eyes fixed on the cabin door. You can see attention seize her. She's unsure of herself for the first time in her long and short existence. She has no part to play anymore, and she knows this. Yet she still is. And as she crosses the room to her door outside, you follow her confident steps.
Come on, princess. It's just a door. Sorry, I'm just a little nervous. This is really it. Whatever happens next will be completely new.
Are you ready?
Yeah, as ready as I'll ever be.
Aww. Very cute. Well, I don't need a screenshot because this is a stream, so I can just take a... Oh. Return to main menu. Alright, and that was, I think I got all of the vessels. Yeah, we got all the vessels, so I've pretty much completed that. I will be achievement hunting later, but that's probably not going to be the stream because it's late as fuck. So I'm gonna call it a night. Thank you all for coming. See you all sometime later whenever I start streaming again. Goodbye. Where's my YouTube music? Music? Music. There we go. Bye!